What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. DosRC coming at you with another video today. So what are we doing on this beautiful evening? And what is this? Let me tell you. This is how you can de-anodize your RC aluminum parts with this right here. $6.99 at your hardware store. So this chassis right here is actually my very first original Creighton EXB roller chassis. The very first Arma EXB released. This is what this chassis is. So as you can tell, it's been, used. It's not brand new. And you can see the residual indentations of where the motor used to sit, the battery tray, the the receiver box. So this is what it actually looks like when, or after rather, you de-anodize it. And why would you want to de-anodize a chassis or any other RC car part that's aluminum? Say you have red, green, blue, black anodized aluminum RC parts and you want them silver, or they look beat up, for example, like this. They look, you can tell they're used like this, and you want to bring them back to life. Well, you de-anodize it, you sand it, and then you polish it. That's how you bring back your RC car parts back to life. So really quick, the process. This is what you're looking for, is lye. As you can see, it says 100% lye. That's what does the de-anodizing. Now, couple things if you're thinking about doing this. Very important. The container that you mix this with water in has to be plastic. It has to be plastic or glass, preferably plastic, because if you happen to drop it, it won't break. And then you'll have this liquid with drain opener all over the floor. Plastic is my best bet. A big enough container where a chassis will fit flat. The water can come up to, you don't have to even fill it all the way. The water can come up to like just past, as long as the chassis is submerged. You're gonna want to use gloves, eye protection, because you don't want to splash this in your eyes and you don't want to get it on your hands. And then, so you throw that in there into the water, mix it around, let that dissolve a little bit. Now you might ask yourself, oh, how much? Honestly, I've never measured it. What I usually do is I have a container that's like that big, like a tub, and this wide. Fill it to where the chassis just covered with water, and then I add about, I'm gonna say, a quarter of this bottle, and that's probably too much. but I'm gonna tell you why I add that much in a second. I add a quarter of that bottle, right? So if you take this and you divide it into 4 parts, a quarter is like that much of the bottle. The reason why I add enough is, or a lot, is so that the anodizing process happens quicker. So I didn't do it with this one. I actually didn't add that much, and as you can tell, you can see some of the black anodizing still on there, especially back here. That didn't come off at all. And in the front and on the underside of the chassis, it kind of looks like gray black, you know. That's actually the chemical turning it black. That's the other thing. If you leave the chassis in there or your RC parts in the solution for too long, it will turn your aluminum dark gray to black, which is okay. It's not the end of the world, because you're going to sand it and polish it anyways, and that will come off in that process. So the reason why I put quite a bit is so that the deanodizing happens quicker and the chassis doesn't turn black, or your RC parts don't turn black. But if it does, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So what I'm gonna do is sand this down and polish it, and then bring you guys back and show you what it looks like after the fact, in case you want to do that to your chassis. So just a disclaimer, I am not liable if you guys do happen to use this process and this chemical for any damage done onto your person or your house or anything of that matter. This is completely your responsibility. I'm just sharing this information with you guys in case you're wondering how to de-anodize your RC parts and make them look shiny and new again. That's it. Once again, I am not liable for this. If something happens, do this completely at your own risk. So I'm gonna get this thing sanded down and polished. When it comes to chassis, really quick, what I use to sand is this this is what's called an orbital sander. It's got a sticky thing, sandpaper on there. This is, I think, 240. No, it's 120 actually, but it's worn, so 120 might be a little too harsh. I would do like 240, 260. I'm not too familiar with the numbers, but or even like 300. But 300 grit, you know, 400 grit, that would be good to start off. So you don't need to get an orbital sander if you don't have one, but it makes the job super easy because you just go like this and it does the job for you. Otherwise, you have to use elbow grease and sandpaper. And then for the polishing, I use the this polishing gray compound. I got this at Harbor Freight, and these polishing cloths that you can attach to your everyday drill. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So if it's something that you're interested in and you want to find out what this is gonna look like after I'm done with the process, stick around and we'll be right back. So I just wanted to show you the process real quick. As you can tell, that's the rear that I haven't touched. And then that's the front that I just did. So like I was telling you, you know, that black oxidizing that you'll get on your parts, it will go away. You just have to sand it. You have to sand it anyways to polish it. So alright, so I just finished sanding the underside of the chassis. And there you go, guys. Check it out. So this still needs to be polished, so it will get brighter. But I mean, technically I should just leave it like it is, because you know, it's the underside of the chassis, so it's gonna get all those scratches anyways. But there it is. So as you can see, all the that black color came off nice and smooth. So now I'm gonna do this side, and we'll keep going. I also like doing the sides. See that? I don't know if you can see it on camera. And then I haven't done this side, so you can see that that's dull and that is shiny. So I'll do that all the way around. And then so we're gonna do this side. We'll be right back. Alright guys, there it is. So this has just been sanded down. What do you guys think? Definitely brought it back to life, huh? I'm pretty happy with that. Now I just have to polish it. So you might be asking yourself, why am I doing all this? Like, why am I even de-anodizing this chassis and breathing some life back into it? Well, I like building RCs, and instead of going and getting a new EXD chassis for 80 bucks or grabbing an M2C chassis for 160 bucks, I figured I'd turn this old chassis into an RC. So that's why I'm doing this. Now, I'm not sure what I want to build. I don't know if I want to build, so this is a Creighton chassis. I don't know if I want to build a Creighton or maybe a stretched Typhon. I'm leaning more towards the Typhon just because I don't own one. And I don't really like the short wheelbase trucks anyways, which is why I built the Notorious the way I did. That's so smooth. I wish you guys could feel it through the camera. All those little, like, I don't know if you can see them, all those little like sanding marks, that's all gonna disappear with the polishing. But there it is, guys. I think that's pretty sick. And you can do this with shocks, anything that's anodized, chassis braces, shock towers, bulkheads, anything that's anodized in a color. Obviously you wouldn't de-anodize it if it was already silver, like that, right? You wouldn't submerge it into a liquid, chemical liquid. You would just polish it if you wanted to bring it back to life or something. This is only for anodized parts that are a different color. I think that's what the term anodized means anyways. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Stay tuned. Definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I'm gonna turn this into an RC, and I want you guys to tell me if you want to see that progress. Leave it in the comments down below, and if enough of you guys say I want to see that process, then I'll make a video turning this old chassis into an RC car. Alright guys, so thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, I appreciate you guys, I'm humbled, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Dose RC out. Check this out, guys. So I just finished polishing it, and you can see the reflection off the back wall there a little bit. That's wild. So there it is, guys. De-anodized, sanded, and polished 6-year-old, 5-year-old RC chassis. Looks like a breath of fresh air now. Alright guys, thanks.